Hi everyone, welcome to Tony Fox Tarot. Thanks for joining me today and great to have you with me. Today we are looking at whether this person is cheating on you. So we're going to have a look at this question by getting an understanding as to who this person is. What's their character like? What's their relationship to you? How are they acting? How are they thinking and feeling? Most importantly, we'll also look at you and what are the dynamics between the both of you and why are you feeling that this person is cheating on you. We'll break the reading down into the past and the present, and we'll look at the future outcomes. But most importantly, we will answer the question as to whether this person is cheating on you. Now, before we get started, if you want to go down below and hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. Please like and share this video where you can. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of info about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is that I access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Before you on the screen today, we've got 4 different cards to choose from, and the idea is to choose a card that resonates with you really clearly. Once you've made that choice, that will be your reading. It's perfectly fine to choose more than one card if it comes through strongly for you today. Just remember, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave behind anything that doesn't. We've got card 1, 2, 3, and 4. Taking a moment to be with the cards, drawing in a nice deep breath, and as you release the breath, listening to your intuition, your inner voice, and the energy of the cards. Which of these cards comes through for you the strongest? Is it card 1, 2, 3, or 4? Down below there are 4 different timestamps representing each of these different cards. If you'd like to go to the one that you've chosen, I will see you in a moment. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 1. This is your reading, and today we are looking at whether this person is cheating on you. So let's jump in and have a look and see what's going on. Now I'm going to start down here with the Devil and the 4 of Cups. I feel like it was a good place to start with yourself, looking into the past. I feel like you have had a series of bad relationships that predate this particular person. I feel like they've all come with certain trust issues that have left you feeling very on the outer when it comes to trying to forge a relationship with somebody and to have some kind of intimacy. I get a sense here that each of these relationships has left you feeling very rejected. I do feel strongly here that for some of you this has been a situation before where you've been cheated on, and it's left you very sensitized to the idea that somebody will cheat on you again. But it's not just that. I feel like there are other issues that have come up in relationships with you that have just left you feeling very, very jaded in terms of your experience. I think you look not only at the relationships that you've actually had, but the relationships of other people, and there are a lot of question marks around whether it's really possible to be with somebody in a way where you can really wholeheartedly trust them. In that respect, I feel like you've been conditioned to think the worst. I think you've had difficult experiences. Maybe you've looked at other people in a way where you've looked at their experiences and thought that they are very negative experiences. I feel like each relationship that you've gone to in this particular situation, it's almost as though it's become like a self-fulfilling experience. You go into, I guess, the idea of it with some kind of trepidation. You know, there's a cautiousness there that leads you to think, you know, where's this all going to go? It's almost as though you're always on the back foot when it comes to this idea of being with somebody. And the relationships that you have had with other people, I just felt it's as though they actually have been bad experiences. They haven't been good experiences, and they've left you feeling like you've never come first. I get a sense of jealousy in the past here with other people in a way that leaves you to feel that you're always having to compete for the attention of the person that you're really interested in, that you don't come first. Other people seem to be always in the focus in a way where it's like you're second best and you're having to compete for that attention in a way. And I feel like that can be quite drug-like. It's as though when you're rejected, it leaves you feeling as though you want some kind of validation. You know, you kind of want to get beyond that experience in a way that leaves you feeling that you are number one. And so, you're kind of losing your power in these situations where you're feeling maybe that it's me, maybe there's something wrong with me here. It's happened more than once. Here I am again, feeling like I'm on the back foot, feeling like I'm second best. And I do feel that, there seems to be other people that do or have taken priority over you in past relationships in a way where a lot of jealousy is generated. Other people seem to be more important or have a focus in a way that you don't get a look in. And so you're always on the outer, you're always on the parameter, always feeling like you're never really good enough. And it really has this very negative impact on your self-esteem. I feel also here that there are a lot of issues around boundaries. People who have come into your life in a way where you feel like you've been walked over by them. And maybe even to some degree that's been normalized for you, having to accept that, this is just how things are, and conditioned to think that everybody's the same. And it just leaves you feeling like you're the problem. I think also it can be addictive as well, because when you're pushed away, when you feel like you are the problem, wanting the validation becomes addictive. You end up chasing these people in a way where it spikes like a neediness. It's like I want to be proven that I'm actually wrong, perhaps. And I think the difficulty here is that you begin to emotionally shut down in a way where you can't communicate on an honest level, and then a lot of fear takes over here because you feel like you're going to lose this person. The other person always seems to have power over you in a way where I think you've just become really fed up with it. I think here in the past, you can see here with the Four of Cups, it's like resenting all of these relationships, resenting feeling like this. It's like, I don't want to do this anymore, And also, there's no intimacy here because of this, because of all of these barriers, these feelings that feel so unhealthy for you in a way where there's just no balance. There's no sort of reciprocation in a way that allows you to honestly communicate where the problems are. You're just waiting for the other person to kind of put you first in a way that never seems to really happen. Yeah. If I come up here to the Fool and the Ten of Pentacles, I feel like a good place to start in the past with this other person. I feel like you've met this person maybe through a social network of people. I feel like this person's come with some sort of credentials or validation based on the people that you know. Might be like a mutual circle of people. Could be colleagues, friends, family. I just feel like this person's reputation has been a very positive one. Here with the Fool, I kind of feel like it's a fresh new start in terms of entering into a very new dynamic with a relationship that, or a relationship potential that just kind of breaks the mold of all the past stuff that you've actually been experiencing. I get a very independent person coming through here, a very confident person. I feel like this person is very different to all the people that you have known in the past. And it kind of feels like a fresh new direction. And this person feels like a breath of fresh air. They feel very uplifted, very spirited, very positive in their outlook. I kind of feel, I get a good looking energy that comes through here. I just feel this is a very attractive person for whatever reason. It could be physical, but it also could be energetic. Their attitude just feels very light, very breezy. And there's a bit of a departure from maybe... I think it's their sense of independence. The Fool here is a very strong card for independence and doing things very differently in a way where they don't really need to be defined by other people. But the really strong thing that comes through here is somebody who's been very reinforced and validated by a social network. I just kind of feel that links in really strongly in a way that gives you a confidence that this is a really good potential. I do feel that this person has been avoiding maybe kind of, settling down. Again, the Fool, very strongly independent. Ten of Pentacles, strong family values, maybe coming from a background where they actually have, a family that is very anchored in traditional values and expectations. I feel like this person is not wanting to kind of really do that. I feel like they enjoy their independence. They're avoiding a really strong commitment. Maybe a part of what that is they kind of want a different kind of life. Maybe just something a little bit more quirky, off the beaten track. Not necessarily having to sort of settle down into kids and and a like, what am I saying? Kids and the job. I feel like this is somebody who is much more creative in terms of their perspective. I kind of think they're a little bit more interesting and self-aware in a way that allows them to sort of be able to take new potentials. I feel like this is a very serious kind of potential here in terms of the relationship idea. I feel like this person is very much dipping in and out of communication with you. Very carefree, not taking things too seriously, but very liked by other people. A really, really strong sense of going with the flow here is what I'm getting. Yeah. I'm going to come down here to, I'm going to go over here to the Empress and the Five of Pentacles. This is more on the here and now, and I do feel that things have changed quite dramatically from the time that you've met this person. I feel like this person hasn't been spending so much time with you. Not as much effort's been going into communication. I don't feel like this person is present when they are there. You can see that here with the Five of Pentacles. I see some very deep insecurities that have really come up very recently with this person, in a way where I feel there's long periods of radio silence. They're kind of not, and if they are there with you, they're kind of not in the room. Like it's a little bit vacant for me. Maybe this person is spending time alone, making excuses not to see you, very distracted by other things in a way where there's just no productive outcome in terms of where it's all going to sort of take the relationship to the next level. There's no progress here at this point in time, is what I feel. I really feel like this person is going through a very deep insecurity around the idea of money and security. I feel like they've kind of been hit with a set of circumstances that have perhaps really confronted them as to where things are going. And if you look to the past, I think that kind of defines a lot of where things are at this point in time. They come from a very, I would have said, traditional background where money and security is very important, getting ahead. I feel like that's something that would have been drummed into them in a way where there's a lot of expectation to do really well in life. Maybe they're feeling very insecure as to what is it they're actually producing at this point in time, not feeling that they have enough, not feeling like they're going to have a secure future. So there's a real preoccupation with money, security, lots of uncertainty in their world at this time. But I do feel that there's a much deeper internal processes here. If you look here with the Empress, that's a really strong card for motherhood, or having, or the mother. I feel maybe this person has a mother or a mother-like influence who strikes a lot of insecurity in them. It's the type of person that would have said that they are nobody is ever really good enough for them, and maybe that they're never even good enough for themselves. I kind of feel like this influence is really playing on this person. If it's not direct, it's definitely something that links into their past and the way that they've been conditioned in terms of their upbringing. I feel here this person is definitely pulling away in a way that says that they're really unsure about where they can go with this at this point in time. It's kind of gone from uplifted, carefree, easygoing into sort of like, a very obvious, I guess, inability to really give you what it is that you want, and which would allow you to maybe feel confident about the direction of the relationship. They've got a lack of confidence. You're going to have a lack of confidence. So a lot of uncertainty here. Definitely, I'm picking up like mother issues. I feel like they've been brought up in a way where they, and even if it's not that parent, it's the traditional kind of family values that kind of I just feel like it's made them really insecure in a way that, commitment is a big thing for them. And if you go back to the Fool and the Ten of Pentacles, you can see right here, like settling down and doing the big family thing. They've avoided maybe they've avoided this all of their life, or avoided it lately, or, they're just, it's like, it's not their thing. If you come down here to the Hermit and the Seven of Swords, I think this is more the here and now for you. I feel this has triggered you to spiral really deeply into a kind of, it's like your kind of expectations that it's going to be a worst case scenario again are kind of all sort of flared up in a way that, you know, straight away you can't trust this person. It's like, oh, what are they up to? You know, what are they doing? Why is this happening? And why is this happening again? You know, like it's like you're not, when they are communicating with you, you're not believing anything that they're saying. You're looking for clues as well. I kind of really feel like you're drilling down into this experience, and you're feeling really deeply suspicious of this other person. You're kind of watching every move that they're making, hanging on every word that they're actually saying, going over the experiences of the past with them in a way that looks for kind of reinforcement to justify that, you know, your feelings, you know, are correct. And also I think it's really left you to sort of spiral in on past relationships that have been really bad for you as well. Going back to where I was talking about here with the Devil and the Four of Cups. I think you've lost all confidence in them, but you've also lost all confidence in yourself. Feeling really isolated, and I think you're 100% certain that this person is actually cheating on you in a way that you're wondering, how long has this been going on for? You know, you're trying to kind of trace things back in a very meticulous way, where you're sort of looking over all of their past behaviors, all of the stories that they've been telling you, and you're just kind of you're all over it. I kind of feel like maybe even snooping for clues. You could be talking to other people, looking to cross-check information, stories. I feel, you know, like maybe for some of you, like checking this person's phone, looking into their emails, into their messages, maybe even going through personal belongings even, you know, if you've got access to them, you know, like it's really kind of become quite full on for you in a way where you're feeling incredibly insecure about this situation, and you just want facts. You want to see what's going on in a way where you can actually read this correctly. But you're straight into a worst case scenario here in a way that allows you to, in a way that makes you think, yeah, you know, I need to trip them up and just kind of, you know, get them to actually say it, you know, hear it from their own lips. So there's a lot of energy going into this. I kind of feel like you're really blaming this person as well. And you're maybe blaming the other people that have kind of set this up in some ways, because I feel like the social network that is kind of confidently giving you a green light to get involved with this person is now something that you're kind of thinking, oh God, you know, can I trust them even? So it kind of, the whole trust thing goes much bigger than just this person. It's the entire experience that sews into the fabric of this social network as well. And I feel maybe even feeling like you've been set up in a way where you're feeling that you want to run and that you want to hide. Coming over here, where's this all going to go? I mean, if you come over here to the Hierophant and Four of Wands, I feel like as a timeline, this person is actually moving into the next steps of this total refreshed idea of what it means to commit to somebody with you. You can see here with the Hierophant. The Hierophant is like, you know, like a major commitment card in terms of a relationship, which often leads to marriage or at least some kind of serious de facto outcome that, you know, is really contractually, you know, committing to each other. The Four of Wands is, you know, working very hard in tandem with somebody else to get amazing results. I feel this person is going to want to settle down with you. I feel like they're going through a process, and that over the coming month that they'll actually get to a point where they'll very, very clearly communicate to you that they want to have a long-term relationship. I feel like they're in a really good place by about this point, and they've worked through sort of a number of really deep insecurities. I feel like there's this enormous change within this person that kind of changes their energy, and they become much more present and centered in a way that there's just no messing about. You know, like it's just like straight into this clear communication that says, I'm ready for the next level. I don't feel this person has cheated anyway. I don't see any cheating. I don't feel any cheating. I feel like this person is simply working through deep insecurities, which relates to commitment issues. I think this person has been avoiding the idea of commitment historically. If you can see here with the Fool and the Ten of Pentacles, I think that their own family upbringing possibly even with their mother in particular, but there's definite influences going on in the background there that have left them to feel very jaded about what it means to settle down in a very traditional way. This person is wanting to break the chain here with the Fool. They're wanting to do things differently, a fresh new start for themselves in a way that says, I don't want to do it like that. But when you come over here to the Hierophant, it's like, they also at the same time are very serious about what it means to settle down. Some of these values have rubbed off in a way where it's like, okay, maybe I don't want to do it like I've seen in the past, but I definitely want to be with somebody in a way that is serious with commitment. I feel like this person is now saying here in the future that they're ready for it. And yes, I've been avoiding, avoiding commitment because I've wanted to have my freedom, but now I'm ready. Now I'm ready. So for me, this person is definitely serious and ready for it. Coming over here with the Hanged Man and the 5 of Pentacles, for you, in terms of the outcome, it's a very different situation because I feel like you're not going to be able to let go of all of these deep suspicions, of your own insecurities, that you're not going to be able to trust this person. I think that you'll continue on in a way where you'll be very, unwilling to take any risks. But I feel like you're really tight-lipped about things as well. I don't feel like you're communicating how it is that you really feel. Internally, I just feel like it's self-protection mode. You've pulled back here with the Hanged Man. There's a sense of enormous vulnerability where you don't want to put yourself into a situation where anybody has it over you again. Feeling vulnerable. And I feel like that feeling of vulnerability is unbearable for you in a way where it's like, you're pulling down the shutters. You're not letting anybody in. You're not giving any perspective in terms of your communication as to where you're at. I feel here also at the same time, you can see here with the 5 of Swords, reliving your past experiences in a way that leave you to feel victimized. There's more to it than that for me. I feel that there is a history here, that maybe points back into your deeper history. It could go back into your childhood or into your formative years. There's a root cause here for me that leaves you to feel incredibly vulnerable, where people have been very fixed on abusing or at least very fixed on vilifying or victimizing you in a way that has left you to feel that people can't be trusted. There's a pattern for me that repeats continuously throughout this timeline in a way that says every time I get close to somebody, every time I am ready to emotionally open up, something happens and I'm kind of back to square one again. And perhaps even though those experiences and even those experiences have been valid, like they have been true experiences, but there's also an attraction to that type of person as well. And so I think trust has always been an issue here, and I think there is a strong element of healing that is needed in a way that allows you to liberate this pattern of, what is actually like torment, really. I think at this point in time, your instincts know that this person is a complete change. I think the thing is that you can't trust yourself to trust your instincts. Like your trust is just like at a 0. Okay, so it's not even about trusting other people. It's actually about trusting yourself to know that maybe you could have it wrong or that your instincts may be right. You can see here that this person is a complete departure from anybody or anything you've ever known. I feel like it's time for healing. That could be self-reflection. It could be meditation. It could be going into therapy of some sort. It could be seeing a natural therapist or turning to some sort of spiritual component in your life that begins to anchor you in a way that allows you to work through these issues. For me, this person is definitely not cheating on you. I think your mind here at this point, even from now in the present, it's very fixed on the negatives in a way where you've begun to compartmentalize yourself. And I think there is like a separation of, you can see the swords are all about the mind. There's a separation of the body, there's a separation of the emotions, and there's a retreat into what you know. And what you know is that you You can't factually trust anybody here in a way that allows you to become vulnerable. So for me, it's about putting all the pieces back together. The mind, the body, the soul, really. You know, it's time to do some healing. But I don't feel that this person is cheating on you. I feel like they're simply going through a really important process of their own that is valid. You know, they have their own triggers, they have their own insecurities, but I feel like they are there for you here in the outcome in terms of the potential of a really committed relationship. Look, I hope this reading has made some sense, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon, that'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you are interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of info about who it is that I am and what it is that I do right there. And yeah, thanks very much. Take care. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 2. This is your reading and we are looking at whether this person is cheating on you today. So let's jump in and have a look and see what's going on. I'm up here to Death and the 10 of Wands. This is where I want to start with the other person looking to the past. I feel like this person has already broken it off with you. I feel like this is a very long and drawn out process that has gotten very messy on their account. This is not somebody who sees things straightforward in terms of where they're going with you, historically speaking. I get a sense that there has been a lot of different things that have been thrown up to complicate this relationship in a way where there's ongoing obstacles and preoccupations as to whether this is what they really want, whether this is what they can really do. I do feel that this person has tried really hard with you, though. I kind of get a lot of effort going in here to try and keep things on track. It's not that they haven't tried. But at the same time, I just don't see that they can see the wood for the trees here in terms of where this is all going. How is it they really feel? I get a long, drawn-out process that has been very messy. I feel like this has gone on for too long in terms of their own internal process. And in many ways, it's become all about this person. It's all about what they want. It's all about where they're going, what they see, how they feel. This is somebody who gets quite heavy, gets very caught up in themselves, and can be very overly complicated in some ways. I feel in many ways this person, it's a very push-pull situation. I don't feel like this person has necessarily wanted to give up on the relationship. At the same time, because of the way that they are in terms of handling a situation, they've also made it so complicated that maybe this is not something that they wanted themselves. So I get very push-pull. A lot of work going on here with this person. I feel a very ambitious, determined individual who is very headstrong. And I feel like they've had enormous preoccupation with other activities, other work-related areas of focus. I just kind of feel like you haven't necessarily been the center of attention in a way where it's been about you. At the same time, I just don't feel like I just don't feel like you've been the priority here. I feel like this person is always busy doing other things, overly complicating situations in a way where things become unnecessarily complex. I feel like they're out doing other things all the time, you know, like it's like, you know, in some ways I feel like this person is their own worst enemy. And through this really quite sort of, again, complex process, I feel like in many ways they've been hiding away from you. There is a real strong sense of hiding things from you. But of hiding from themselves at the same time, no matter how it is they actually really feel about what's going on here. You know, this is not somebody who is emotionally present. They're not in the room when you're in the room with them. I feel like there are a lot of distractions here. This person's throwing a lot of stuff up into the air that kind of is very much look over there. It's look anywhere else but at me and what's going on. They haven't wanted to take accountability in terms of the actual relationship, in terms of their part in making it a success. So in that sense, I think they've been very much avoiding the reality of having to kind of focus on what the actual problems are. At the same time, I get a sense here this person's not facing it, not actually. It's almost like they're pretending there's no problems. And very much wanting it all their way. It comes across as kind of a little bit egotistical. Again, very headstrong, very determined, but very much on their terms and their conditions. It's all their way. So from that point of view, I don't feel like this person's been sort of centered and open to listening to you in a way where there's been an inclusive context to the relationship. Unable to see things from your point of view, very fixed, very headstrong, very little, I guess, very little flexibility. If I come down here to the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Cups, you're a very different person. This is you looking to the past, very head over heels in love with this person. Queen of Cups, very compassionate, very loving. I feel like, you can see this person for who it is that they are in many ways. You probably think the things that I'm saying don't surprise you, but you're very forgiving of what this person is like. I think you've rolled with the punches in a way where you've known there's a lot of risk here, but at the same time, you've been very patient with this person. You've known the risks. I think you've just accepted this person for who it is that they are and let them kind of get on with their own process. I think you've hoped for the best. And maybe in some ways you've been very convinced that they would actually come round to sort of seeing things from a much more heartfelt level. A strong feeling here that they would actually come to their senses. Or also here, you're a strong believer in fate. You've got a very heartfelt, very sensitive, intuitive process that aligns with a much more spiritual perspective. And I think perhaps here with Wheel of Fortune, a strong belief that things will land on their feet, things will work out for the best. You've seen the potential as to where this can all go for the future. You've given constantly to this person. I think you've been a very guiding and reasonable force in their world in a way that upholds them. This person has a lot of baggage. There's no doubt about it. I don't feel like they've even begun to address what that baggage is here in Death and the 10 of Wands. Maybe perhaps even you've seen this relationship as an opportunity to be there for this person in a healing capacity, because you're very nurturing and very focused on constructive outcomes from a heartfelt point of view. I think you've really upheld this person. You've been there for them in a way that's been very, very guiding, very, very compassionate. You've cut them a lot of slack. You've always been there with a solution-based kind of focus. No matter what this person has thrown at you, you've kind of kept things on track. I think you've tried to make it work from every different angle. If I come up here to the Lovers and the 3 of Swords, this is more in the present and the here now with this particular person. I feel like they're very much unable to let go of you still. They're very bound by the past. You can see that here with the 3 of Swords. Pain in the past, pain in the present, pain in the future. This is somebody who is definitely feeling they are a failure in terms of the relationship. I feel that this has been very confronting for them. Again, that they are their own worst enemy. I don't think it's just about you, though. I think this person realizes that they've never been successful in a relationship. I kind of feel like they're reliving what's happened with you, but also reliving historical relationship problems that have also confronted them at this point in time. I think this person feels here with the Lovers, it's a discerning card. It's a card about choices. They feel like they've made the wrong choice. They feel like they've made the wrong decision. But they always muck things up. There's a very deep sadness here. It's a lot of mourning. This person is grieved about making the decision to let you go. I think they're reflecting on the past and they understand how difficult it was for you and how difficult they've actually made it for themselves. I think this person has definitely got some insight into their process in a way where they can kind of see things square on at this point in time. But they also recognize their incapacity to succeed. I don't think this person necessarily has any solutions. I don't feel like they've got answers to the things that they're actually reflecting on. There's a lot of regret, a lot of grief, but no power to change it. I don't feel like this person is in their power. It's very me. I kind of feel like this person is wallowing at this point in time in a way where, although they are considering you for the first time in a very long time, they're still very much concentrated on the problems within themselves, not the problems that they actually inflicted on you. Because I think maybe they take it for granted also because you've always been there for this person at every twist and turn here with the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Cups. It doesn't matter what's been thrown at you with this person. You've kept your center, you've stayed grounded in your deep understanding of what is possible here, in your love for them. I think this person knows that they've actually thrown in the towel though. They can recognize that it just got too difficult for them. Do they recognize that they were onto a good thing? I don't know that is the case, because it's always all about them. Their love for you is very second to their own needs in that particular sense. I feel here with this person, it's kind of like a strong sense of being stuck in limbo, of wallowing with their own internal process in terms of having mucked things up with you and mucked things up with other people. If I come down here to the High Priestess and the 8 of Wands, I think for you at this point in time, you're very much waiting for communication from this person, waiting to hear from them. And if you have had sort of any communication, it's been very vague. Like, it's been either superficial, or maybe it's touched on certain issues that are really sensitive to what's going on here in terms of the dynamic between the two of you. And it just hasn't kind of given you a sense of confidence as to where things might go for the future, because I don't feel like you've given up. I think you're definitely starting to wane. You're losing confidence here with the High Priestess. Things are very vague. This is a really strong card around messages with the 8 of Wands. Everything's up in the air, waiting for information. Maybe also you're kind of looking to hear from other people about what this person is up to, or you've heard rumors perhaps. I mean, maybe, and this is where I think, maybe the idea of this person cheating on you has started to spark. This person's not responding, not getting on track, not communicating clearly with you, not giving you confidence about where things are going for the future. You've been incredibly invested into this person. I mean, if you come back here to the Queen of Cups, I mean, you've been in love with this person for a long time. These are evolved, mature feelings that have developed over a long period of time. You're heavily invested at an emotional level with this person. And I think now you're at a point where you're kind of starting to second guess it, because you're not getting any sort of clear signals from them. You're starting to question maybe whether your intuition was off, whether this person wasn't who it is that you thought that they were. And I think maybe looking to the past in terms of what their process was like here with Death and the 10 of Wands, it's like, okay, so there is a history of them kind of hiding things. There's a history of them becoming very preoccupied and immersed in other activities. I'm not clear. Maybe this person has been cheating on me. Maybe the reason why they've left is because they've made a decision to be with somebody else, or so really questioning the whole process in terms of where it's all going. I think at the same time, the one thing I'm sort of feeling really confident about here is that the time and space factor for you of being away from them allows your intuition to flow much more clearly. I feel like you're coming back to yourself. I feel a sense of freedom here. You know, like it's like, okay, I can begin to breathe now. Like I don't have all of this baggage to carry anymore. You know, like for the first time in a really long time, I'm actually free from having to take all of this on. You know, like and through that process, it allows you to kind of form new insights. And things also are much more effortless for you in terms of your energy. It's like, you know, you can begin to kind of find a pace that just allows things to be much easier for you. So there's a lot of information that's really starting to kind of sift down within your process of understanding who this person is, what they're about, and these questions around cheating are really now becoming very, very pointed. Again, you know, this idea of rumors is very strong for me here as well. Maybe you've heard somebody say something that kind of is a bit sort of, making me question, are they seeing somebody else? Or maybe it's even direct. Maybe you've actually heard somebody say, this person actually has been seen with somebody else. So it's a very dark versus light kind of energetic polarization. You know, this person's very heavy and labored in terms of their overall process within themselves. You're much lighter, much more intuitive, much more nimble. You know, you're quite quick and agile within yourself. So we'll get to whether this person is cheating in a moment. Coming up here to the Chariot and the Eight of Pentacles. I feel this is the future outcome in terms of where this person is going with this whole situation. I feel like this person, over the coming month, I would have said, I think this is quite soon. I feel like this person has turned a corner. They want to get back together. And I think this is going to be very egotistical and pushy. You can see that here with the Chariot. Overly focused in some ways, of wanting to push ahead in terms of getting back together. I feel like this person's going to be quite driven about it. I don't feel any apologies coming through in terms of how this has impacted on you. I don't see or sense any sensitivity. It's very much about what they want to get things back on track in a way that is just like full steam ahead. I feel like they'll kind of throw a lot at you in terms of how to make that work practically. I feel like their process will be very clear in terms of why they want that. There's a lot of reasoning here that says, and here with the Chariot, it's a card of housing as well. I wonder whether this person wants to move back in together, or wants to move in together, or wants to do something that kind of really, you know, crystallizes the future together. It also could be very material or financial. You know, just I kind of feel like this person wants to secure something with you in a way that really grounds the relationship. Talking about the life that you can have together. You know, they really want it. And they know what they want here. And they're really kind of communicating that very clearly to you. I feel like this person is also saying, I've turned a new leaf. You know, I just really want to get things on track in a way where we're back together. And, you know, I have to say to you, I don't see any self-reflection here. I don't see any remorse as to how this overall timeline has impacted on your world. It's like they come out of the blue and it's just me. You know, it's all about what it is that I want. I don't feel this person has been cheating on you. However, it's conveniently all about this person in a way that has red flags all over it for me. I feel like there's always an excuse as to why it needs to be about this particular person. I feel historically and presently, as well as into the future, it's all about them. It's all about their process. It's all about what suits them. And I think from that context, for me, it's just a matter of time before a situation comes up, and conveniently this person will shape the opportunity into what it is that they want. And if it really came down to cheating, I feel like this person would hide that. I don't feel like this person would be upfront about that. I don't see a person who is able to self-reflect and sensitively and emotionally connect with you in a way that understands what that means in the context of a relationship. Yeah. If I come down here to the World and the King of Cups, I feel like this is you in the future. I feel the response to this person is one where you're feeling very distant and cautious. I feel that you'll maintain a very reserved position here in a way where you'll listen, but you're not going to react to what it is that they're saying. I think, I feel like your process coming from the past into the present is one where you've actually evolved and developed a different standard of what you expect in a relationship. I think you can see this person much more clearly with time and space in a way that allows you to fully resonate with the idea that this person is not the one for you. Maybe that might be a little bit hard to hear today, but through a process of evolution within yourself, I feel like you come to a place where you feel that somebody else is out there for you. Yeah. I feel it will be a no for you with this person in a way where you will just naturally let go of them and not engage with them in a way that fuels any further hope for a future with them. I feel like this is a two-pronged outcome as well. I feel here with the World and the King of Cups, I also feel that there's another person here waiting for you in the future. A new relationship with somebody that can meet you halfway, eye to eye. I feel that there's an honesty coming through from this particular person in a way that allows you to be yourself, allows you to relax without having to take on somebody else's baggage. I feel like this is a person you can be honest with, somebody that you don't need to heal. I think also within yourself, honesty, it takes a precedent. I think that you're just not, at this particular point in the future, you're just not prepared to make the compromise to continue to give other people slack all the time. That you are as important in the relationship as the other person is. That things need to be relaxed. But I think probably most importantly, that the emotional maturity of meeting somebody new will hit you in the face when it actually happens, because it's not something perhaps that you've experienced before. I feel like you actually do have that. I feel like you are very evolved in your emotional intelligence. I think that you have a very healing focus in your world in a way where you're incredibly nurturing and loving. And I think that maybe you've seen a diamond here in the rough with this particular person that you've been seeing. However, I think it will be the idea that there is no heaviness left in your life in a way that just kind of, it allows you to float to the top in a very natural way. And meeting somebody else who is very much like that will be an incredible relief for you when that actually happens, because it allows reciprocation. It's not all one-sided. Look, I hope this reading has made some sense. And if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you are interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Thanks very much and take care. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 3. This is your reading and we're looking at whether this person is cheating on you today. So let's jump in and have a look and see what's happening. Up here to the Fool and the 6 of Pentacles. Definitely feel this person in the past here has been out and about, spending time with other people, giving to other situations in a way that leaves you feeling out of balance. I feel here with the Fool, it's very loose on information and details as to giving you reasons as to what they have been doing, where they have been. It's kind of sketchy recollection or a sketchy kind of description of what they're doing without confident details that really sell you on whether they're telling you the truth. I feel this person has kind of shot out the door at every opportunity to be alone, independent, doing their own thing in a way where they're kind of very separate to you. I don't feel that they have felt a responsibility to pay into the relationship in a way that keeps things going and balanced in a confident fashion. A lot of time away, and increasingly so in a way that I also feel here there's always like an excuse to tell you as to where they are, what they're doing. Maybe they don't want you to come along. Here with the Fool, it's a very independent card. You know, it's a road less traveled of having your freedom, your independence, not having to worry about explaining yourself in a way that grounds you into a situation. I definitely get a sense here that this person has taken license just to kind of go off and do their own thing when they want to, how they want to. And then if you pin them down, they're brushing you off. You know, they're kind of fobbing you off in a way that maybe diminishes your concerns, your reasons for asking them to explain where they're up to, what they're doing. I don't feel like this person has been taking you seriously at all. Maybe even refusing to look at the situation in a way where not only are they very difficult to pin down, but yeah, they're not taking on board the gravity of what it really means to keep things going in a balanced fashion. In some ways here, I feel perhaps also this person is feeling like, or making you feel like you're nagging them when all you're doing is just trying to ask them reasonable questions as to what's going on with their behavior. I feel here there's a lot of tripping up in terms of the information that they're actually disclosing to you. Not getting their story straight, or leaving out important details that kind of make sense of a story. Maybe here they're just kind of, you know, they're paying lip service, you know, just telling you what it is that you actually want to hear in a way that keeps you happy, keeps you quiet, shuts you up even. I just don't feel that this person is in the room, quite literally. You know, they're out the door, they're shooting off. Always an excuse. Maybe they're seeing friends, family, they've got things on at work. And again, you know, when you kind of really drill into it and you try to get them to explain what that really means, it's vague, and they come across as very aloof. Like it doesn't really matter. There's a real sense of fobbing you off and diminishing your concerns. Down here with the Justice and the King of Cups, I felt this was you here in the past. I felt like you'd really served it up to this person. I feel like you've drawn the line and basically put it all on the table in a way that has said, you need to explain yourself. I feel like you've gone hard with them. For you, it's gone beyond suspicion here with Justice. You know, like it's like, hang on a second, things aren't making sense. I need you to evidence this in a way that actually gives me confidence. King of Cups, you've been really in love with this person. I get a very emotionally mature person, very emotionally intelligent person. I don't feel like you're in this person's face at all. I feel like you've been very sensitive to their needs, sensitive to the situation in a way that has kept this pretty cool. I don't feel like you've tried to encroach upon them in a way that frightens them or pushes them away. Maybe you can even see perhaps, you know, maybe they need their time, maybe they need their space. And also, I think a lot of the time you haven't really wanted to jump to conclusions in a way that don't give this person a fair and decent chance to really explain themselves, to respond in a kind of in a balanced fashion. I feel primarily you really haven't wanted to lose this person. I think you've really known what's on the line here. You know, the reality is that if it really came down to it and you lost them, you'd be heartbroken. So I get a very cautious, trepidatious approach for you, but at the same time, I also see here with Justice, you know, like you've actually sort of really called it out and said, look, what's going on? You need to answer me convincingly in a way where you quell my fears, you quell my concerns about the fact that things aren't stacking up. You need to make a case for yourself here in a way that convinces me. I feel like this has taken an enormous amount of courage actually to confront this person. But at the same time, like you've had enough. You just all you want here, and you can see that here with these two cards. You know, all you want is honesty, and in some ways, even if this person was really cheating on you at this point in time, I feel like you could deal with that. You know, it's not necessarily that the relationship would even be over. I think you're the type of person that could really look to them and kind of reason through this situation in a way that got to the root cause. You know, I think you're a caring, compassionate person. I think you're a fair person. And I think you'd want them to have a look at what's going on in a very self-reflective way and to work with each other because you love them to give this another go. So I don't feel it's as though you're jumping in to kind of write it all off. But at the same time, I kind of sort of really feel like your heart is in your mouth here because there's a lot on the line. Now, if we come up here to the World and the Two of Pentacles, I feel that this person has restored the balance. You can see that here with the Two of Pentacles. I kind of feel like things have found a rhythm. I feel like there's harmony, synchronicity within the relationship. You've got an enormous amount in common. I can see why you're together on one level. This person now feels as though they're sort of being much more easygoing about things. I feel like they're very attentive to what it is that you've actually laid out here in the past in a way where they know what is online in a way where they want this to succeed. They don't want this to fail. I feel in many ways this person is still out and about doing their own thing independently, but they're much more answerable to you in a way where they're mindful to give you specific reasons or maybe information that kind of clarifies their whereabouts or what is it they were actually doing. I just kind of feel like they're playing into your need, your request to kind of play more fairly in a way that keeps things a little bit more transparent. I feel that when they're actually giving you reasons as to why they're going out or recollecting stories, everything kind of feels like it's stacking up now. I get a much more confidence situation where perhaps they've got people to vouch for them or some kind of evidence to show what it is they are doing, consecutively, repeatedly in a way that just kind of builds confidence for you and leaves you to feel, yeah, actually, they've listened and they've responded. I don't feel this person wants to lose you. I don't feel like this person wants to be seen to be doing the wrong thing either. There's a very strong sense of being careful and considerate in a way where they're really watching their step now. I think also here, for me, the leash feels a lot shorter for them. Perhaps in the past they had free license to do things in a way where they weren't questioned so much until it just got really, out of reason. But now I just kind of feel like things have contracted to a point where they're obviously mindful that they're in a relationship and that they have a responsibility and there are needs from your part that have been really clearly communicated, and they don't want to let you down on that particular level. So it's become much more harmonious, much more frictionless is what I wanted to say. I kind of feel like there's a lot of mindful action going on here in a way that gives confidence to the situation, and it feels very, very much like you're both working together in a very happy and harmonious place. This has taken time though. I don't feel like this has just kind of clicked over into some sort of like, yeah, wow, it's all amazing. Here with the Two of Pentacles, I kind of feel like this has actually worked over a period of time. It's taken some time to iron out. It's taken time for them to kind of figure out what they need to do here to step up. This person does want you to be happy and confident about where things are at in the relationship. But at the same time, I still, I do really feel strongly here that this person is not necessarily demanding, but they have an expectation to be able to go and have their freedom and to do what it is that they want to do without feeling that they can't. Here with the Fool, this is somebody who really needs freedom. This is somebody who needs to be unrestricted at times in a way where they feel they've got their independence. Down here with the Star and the the Six of Wands, more in the here and now with yourself. Here in the now, I feel for you with Star and the Six of Wands that everything for you feels like it's working. Yeah. It's like I get a sense that you're really pleased with yourself. It feels like you're saying to yourself, it's a really successful outcome. Yeah. I think you have confidence in the way that this person has responded. I think you also have confidence here with the Six of Wands. Maybe confidence that there are other people who interact with this person that back them up, you know. I feel like other people who are involved in this person's life, it's important to know, yeah, just confidently that other people can vouch for them in a way that kind of keeps it all on track. I feel like you're saying everybody seems to be on the same page. I think for the first time in a really long time here with the star, you know, you're able to focus on different things as well. So in some ways, it's almost as though you've kind of turned a leaf in this relationship and you're kind of facing a new direction where you don't feel so vulnerable. Yeah. You feel like you can give this person more time and space. I think the communication from this person has really helped. I think their actions have really helped. I think you're also now starting to say, maybe I can cut them a little bit more slack, you know, give them a little bit more length on the leash, you know, without it saying sort of seeming that you're kind of all over it. But at the same time, I think if you're leaving this person to their own devices, they are going off and doing things in a way where maybe they don't feel they need to be answerable. I think part of you is still vulnerable, but at the same time, it's more confident than it's not. I just get a sense here that you're not needing to know everything about what's going on, and perhaps you're not wanting to suffocate them so much. Star is a very healing card. I kind of feel that this is a lot of healing for you at this point in time, because this has been a very difficult situation. If you come back here to Justice and the King of Cups, I think it has been all on the line. I think it's really, you know, it's reached breakpoint to the degree where you knew that, you know, this could be all over. So a huge relief to get to this point where you're feeling very glad that, you know, the worst of this is over in a way where I think for the first time you can give yourself time and space. Yeah. It gives you, in many ways, it gives you freedom, not having to worry about all this stuff. And so you can concentrate on doing other things. I think you've done an enormous amount of work here to underpin this relationship. I think you've taken things very seriously in a way that has said there needs to be boundaries. I think a big part of that is knowing what is fair in the relationship. I think it's also knowing what your own boundaries are and knowing what you need for yourself to feel confident about exploring who this person is and where it's all going for the future. Where is it all going? Let's have a look at the future. Over here to the Sun and the Page of Cups. If I look at the outcome here in the future for yourself, I feel things are entering into a very fun and carefree period. I feel like you're feeling much more flirtatious, much more upbeat. What does that mean? Maybe flirtatious within the relationship in a way where you can kind of let your guard down, have a little bit of fun, keep things a little bit light. It has been really heavy. Things are now healing, but you're sort of moving into a new era where it just feels like it's a new beginning in the relationship for me. I kind of feel like there's a lot of happy times here in a way where there's lots of laughs, lots of joking. I think this is all happening for the first time in a really long time. It's a sense of exploration in terms of a new level or a new dynamic within this relationship. I think happiness here with the Sun, you know, like the happiness is really kind of heightening in a way where you're feeling like this is good times, you know. Both of these cards are really strong cards for children. I think maybe for some of you, the idea of having a child could be really on the cards here in a way that you're discussing, you know, taking the relationship to a next level in terms of getting pregnant or maybe having a child. You know, this happy, new dynamic situation, you know, it kind of just breeds a very new opportunity for you to feel other things are possible in a way that you hadn't considered before. You know, your confidence is really there. This is a multi-pronged outcome for me. At the same time, I also think for you more independently, I get a sense of feeling this is also a vulnerable period for you. I think there's a preoccupation on other areas of your life that are very creatively based, you know, creative projects, creative opportunities. For some of you, maybe having a child, you know, like I just kind of feel your guard's down, yeah. in some ways, you know, you've thrown caution to the wind, you've surrendered into this newfound situation in a way where it's easy to see things with rose-tinted glasses on. I think you've surrendered into complete trust here in a way that you haven't had before, you know. There's always been a cautiousness up until this particular point. Maybe also what I'm finding here is that you're wanting to be a big kid in the relationship. You know, it's a feeling of just wanting to let your guard down, wanting to, you know, throw off the shackles of responsibility, wanting to be vulnerable in a way where you can be intimate, where you can be looked after. Looking to this person in a way that says that you want to explore your inner child or explore a vulnerable part of who it is that you are in a way that you haven't done before. You know, there's a real surrender process here in a way that just says to me that it's for the first time in this relationship, you can really feel that you can be vulnerable. Yeah. I think also here, I really do feel that you've forgotten everything that's happened in a way that allows you just to kind of let go. Yeah. Up here to the Emperor and the King of Swords, you know, the big question here is this person cheating on you? Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel this person has been cheating on you. And what I see here in the outcome is a very different side to this person, perhaps that you haven't seen, or which this person has successfully kept hidden about themselves, in a way where they see this new development of who it is that you are and how it is that you're acting. And in some ways, it gives them a calculated, opportunistic moment to go out and do something when you would least expect it. I feel a cold-heartedness here in a way that says that this person is very much in a manipulative stage of kind of feeling they need freedom again, you know, and they need to go and do what they want to do without feeling that they need to be looked over. You know, here with the King of Swords, there's a definite manipulation of the facts, you know, like a cold-heartedness that's kind of looking on in a way where there's detachment from an emotional point of view. I feel like this person's watching over you in a way that's sort of saying, okay, this is not, they're never going to know. They're never going to know in a way where I feel that there's no reason to tell the truth. I think there's a lot of historical perspective here that looks back at what's been going on in a way where they can see that they've actually gained your confidence and they've done the hard yards to kind of keep things on track. And now it's time for them to do what they want to do independently, to be alone, divorced from responsibility. There's no consideration to feelings here in a way that actually says this could hurt you. This is very I guess it's opportunism for selfish gain. Yeah, it's detachment. It's divorced of feeling. It's divorced of reason. It's divorced of anything else that actually affects anybody else. It's about what this is for me. I feel that this person makes an executive call. Yeah. And goes out and actually cheats. And I have to be honest with you, if I look back historically, I feel here with the Six of Pentacles, I feel like this person has split their time between you in a way where they're giving to somebody else as much as they're giving to you. And I feel that kind of that nature of balance here again in the Two of Pentacles. Maybe they haven't been seeing somebody that they've been seeing before, but now here I kind of sort of feel they're just kind of it's arm's length. There's still consideration of this person. Yeah. For me, I felt perhaps this person could be seeing somebody that they had been seeing historically again here in the future. And if it's not that, I definitely feel that this person is going out to cheese in a way that's for selfish gain. There's a lot of hang-ups within this person. Here with the Emperor, I kind of feel like there's a conditioning maybe from this person's father or a parental figure or a strong kind of mentor that has normalized this kind of behavior. Perhaps this person was brought up in a family where cheating was really was really kind of, you know, right there at the center of it all. if it's not that, perhaps, there's a kind of patriarchal kind of influence here that says that it's okay. It's normal to lie and deceive. It's normal to go out and sow your oats if that's what you really want to do. And it's okay to be okay with that. It's what people do. Yeah. What you've got to do here is to keep an upper hand. This is somebody who is actually thinking in very selfish terms. This is somebody who's actually out for themselves. They're not thinking about other people. It's a dog eat dog world with this kind of thinking. I feel that this person never wants to be vulnerable. Yeah, you have to do what you need to do, but just don't get caught. I don't feel like this person is the type of person that would ever admit to it if they got caught, unless they got caught. Yeah, if they were confronted by somebody who said, "Are you cheating?" they would deny it. Yeah, for them, they love the thrill of it all. They get the kicks from getting away with it. I really feel that this person is just waiting for the right opportunity when you're at your most vulnerable and you're least expecting it, and they have an opportunity to be able to do it without being questioned. Look, I hope this reading has made some sense, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe. Tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. If you are interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of info about who it is that I am and what it is that I do right there. And yeah, you take care. Thanks very much. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 4. This is your reading and we're looking at whether this person is cheating on you today. So let's jump in and have a look and see what's going on down here with the moon and the 8 of Cups. Felt like it was a good place to start with yourself, looking to the past. Just a strong, intuitive gut feeling here within yourself that something's not right. Your instincts are really primed in a way where there's a kind of a internal red alert going on. I feel that you can't really put your finger on it here, but you know something's not right. Everything's kind of spiking in a way where it doesn't matter where you look, doesn't matter where you turn, doesn't matter what day it is. There's just this overwhelming feeling. It's like, yeah, this something's going on here. I think there's a lot of worry here, a lot of worry that this person's cheating on you. I think what's really tricky about these two cards with the moon, in particular driving the 8 of Cups here, it's coming from a very internalized place that you can't factually reinforce. It's just a sense of it. It's a feeling that you can't really say for sure, but you just deep down, something's not right. I kind of feel when you're asleep, it's stirring in dreams. It's very much playing out in your unconscious mind in a way where something very deep within yourself is trying to get your attention to say, what's going on here? I kind of feel like when this person is around, if they're going out alone, there's a kind of a loathing of that because you don't really know what they're up to. There's a suspicion or a strong sense that maybe they're up to no good. They're going out, they're cheating on you or just doing something that kind of adds into this flavor of mistrust, really. I feel like this has been a very difficult time for you. I feel like there's been a very depressive pull on this situation. Very unsure about what is it you're supposed to do next. I think maybe there's even a feeling within yourself that perhaps you should leave. Maybe you should get out now. I think what's, again, very stirring, very difficult to grasp with this situation is how do you have a conversation with somebody about a suspicion based on what? Your intuitive sense. Where can you go with that kind of explanation when you've got no facts, you've got no evidence? It kind of makes you look like you're being irrational or stupid. Maybe there's even visions here, I show you like a strong psychic sense coming through here. You're just kind of picking up on the energy in a way where it's like, yeah, it's not right. And maybe that comes through in different ways. Maybe that's not just a feeling. It could be, as I was saying before, it could be through your dreams. It could be through some kind of a premonition, or it could be through a vision. I think you've really struggled to come to terms with what's going on here in a way where you're just kind of hoping that it will pass. Here with the Eight of Cups, hoping time will pass, that this will leave you. I think also there's a struggle because maybe you're sort of thinking, this is me. There's a sort of a double edge to it. There's the strong sense of it being something real. And then on the other side of it is there's self-doubt because you can't factually reinforce what you're actually thinking. Maybe I've got this wrong. But it really culminates in this overall sort of worry and kind of depressive pool where you've got this constant feeling that you're really trying to struggle to come to terms with. If I come up here to Justice and the Seven of Cups, I question it. I do feel maybe you've actually confronted this person about it at some point here in the past. I feel like the reaction to this has been pretty full on though. I feel like this person here has really taken an immediate defensive and very agitated posture. It's throwing them off guard. They really weren't expecting you to kind of be so straight up, so kind of on the page with confronting them about something that they weren't ready to defend. Here with Justice, it's about evidence, it's about facts, it's about the fact that they've been forced to answer to themselves in a way where they really have to be accountable. And I just sense here with the Seven of Cups, they're just kind of throwing everything at you in a way where there's lots of smoke and mirrors going on here. Like it's all sorts of distractive arguments or kind of, it's almost like they're kind of being confrontational back to you in a way where they're projecting onto you like you're the problem. I feel here in this situation, there's an excuse for everything that you've asked for. They've got a very kind of almost elaborate, backup plan. I'm saying backup plan, but an elaborate response at least to give you something that kind of throws you off this idea that you have this feeling. And maybe here, because they're using their own feelings, maybe they're sensing through in a way where they're kind of intuitively trying to gauge what you think you know. And I feel that this person is confident enough not to say that they're doing anything, confident enough to sort of say that this is about you. This is about the fact that you're kind of making something up within yourself. Where are the facts here? Look, again, Justice. It's like, this person knows that you have no evidence to rightly accuse them of cheating on you. I feel like they're screaming injustice here in this situation, but at the same time, this person really seems to be on the back foot in a way where I feel like you've gotten them off guard. So they're kind of throwing everything at you, maybe even throwing the dummy out of the pram. I kind of feel like this person's kind of spat the dummy a little bit here in a way where they haven't been rational. They haven't given you some sort of clear explanation as to confidently respond to what you're actually asking here. Everything becomes very elaborate. It gives you even more kind of cautiousness to kind of think, why are you being like this? Why aren't you just being really straightforward? Why are you trying to turn the situation around? In many ways, I feel like this person's kind of acting like they've been victimized. It's kind of, you've called their bluff here in a way where I just kind of really feel like it's thrown this person, and I feel like the behavior has taken a very sort of new direction. There's a bit of a strong departure from how it was they were before, and to how it is that they're kind of now being, which is very what I want to say here. They're very self-conscious. I feel like they become very emotional in this situation. I feel like they become very unpredictable, very moody is what I wanted to say. So overall, a very difficult situation where I feel like the two of you have kind of been very sort of, very, very much on different pages. Down here with Strength and the Page of Pentacles, looking here more to the present, I feel like things have really changed for you in terms of how you feel within yourself. I feel like you've really calmed down within yourself in terms of your emotional self. I feel like your instinctual responses to what was going on in the past that led you to feel that this person was cheating on you have quelled, have stabilized. I feel that, you've kind of realized here with the Page of Pentacles, there is no evidence here. There are no facts to kind of really present in a way that gives me the basis to accuse this person of cheating on me. And here with strengths, I kind of go like the really sort of pulling down of this passionate energy to kind of keep things just much more black and white, looking at things much more pragmatically, much more rationally. It's a big sort of very, very big departure from using your intuitive self into a much more practical approach. I think I actually felt like maybe you made an apology to this person. I think that your reflective process here is sort of thinking, you know, in order to kind of keep myself stable and to kind of keep this all going, I need to, you know, think just a little bit more, a bit more in sort of like a nuts and bolts fashion. I think you've accepted what this person has told you in a way where you've responded with an apology. I felt here, maybe even sort of made a peace offering, you know, put out an olive branch, trying to kind of keep things going. You know, Page of Pentacles is very much about a new beginning, but it's also about working with facts and figures. I'm getting a strong sense here that, you know, you've looked at things in a way where you feel that you don't want to go further with this. So you've changed your outlook. So I'm much more confident position at this point in time. I feel like you're kind of back in your body. You're back in control in a way where you're feeling much more confident about where things are going based on, you know, just kind of keeping it a little bit more, I guess, a little bit more buoyant within you. I think you're focusing on other things. I think this positive feeling underpins the relationship at this time in a way where it allows you to kind of get on with it. So your next steps are very clear in terms of what you're doing, both for yourself and within the relationship. I feel perhaps also here with strengths, which is a very strong healing card. I mean, maybe this is a time where you just kind of need things to be manageable. You need things to be healing in a way where you can just going to get yourself back to a place of feeling more ordered, more functional, more reasonable. You know, because if you look back to the past here with the Moon and the Eight of Cups, you know, like it's almost like an unmanageable, if not unbearable situation to be feeling those feelings that you're feeling. Up here to the Devil and the Knight of Wands, I feel like for this other person, in the here and now, I feel like this is a very different situation. I kind of feel almost like an opposite experience to you. I feel since this happened between the two of you that this person has now lost trust within you. I think that this person really feels that you're very much hot on their tail in terms of what it is that they're doing. I get a sense here with the Devil. There's a lot of mistrust here. I feel like this person is still hiding something. I felt that they were here in the past. They're throwing a lot of smoke and mirrors up to distract you from something that maybe they don't want you to see. It's not quite clear, but they definitely don't want to confront the situation in a very honest way. And then over here with the Devil and the Knight of Wands, I definitely feel this person is colluding with somebody else here. There's a relationship in the Devil in a way that covers up things. I feel like something saucy is going on in the background here, something sexual. I have to be honest with you, I do feel that this person is cheating on you. I feel that this person is seeing somebody else. I feel that they're trying to cover their tracks about that, and that this relationship is taking off at speed. I think things are kind of escalating and moving at you know, like it's developing very quickly. I feel like here with the Devil also that this person that you're seeing hates the idea of restriction. They don't want to be pulled back. They don't want to be watched over. They don't want to be answerable, and they want to get out as soon as possible. They just kind of want to get out of the door, go and have their freedom, go and have some fun. They feel very suffocated by being pulled back. So there's a lot of dislike around the idea of restriction and suffocation. And I feel like their feelings towards you are really heated up in a way where there's a lot of resentment here. I don't feel like this person wants to be transparent in any way, shape or form. And that they're very much in need of wanting to get away and have time and space. And they can see that you're distracted. They can see that maybe you felt guilty about what it is that you did in the past in a way where you're trying to make amends, where you're trying to kind of make it up to them and practically look at different ways of managing this situation in a way that doesn't breathe down their neck or assume that they're actually up to the worst. So in that respect, I kind of feel that this person has been very opportunistic, and it's very much about their own primal urge. Like it's a very sexual kind of drive. It's the need to have fun, to be naughty, to go out and to have freedom in a way where they don't feel that they have to be answerable. It's very self-indulgent. Maybe this person's planning a trip away or having nights out where, I just kind of feel it's all about getting away. It's all about going away. Maybe it's about going and having a dirty weekend or having a trip away with somebody in a way where they can just kind of make an excuse and get out and be somewhere else and to have fun in a way where they don't feel they have to be accountable. Definitely. All of these are very emotionally baseline. Like these are baseline emotions. Like these are not respectful of you. These are not emotionally intelligent actions either. I mean, like it's like I just get a really strong sense here that this person is being very manipulative. I think they know how to make you feel. Yeah, they know which buttons to press to emotionally manipulate you. They know that you're a very sensitive person. I get a very sensitive person with yourself here with the moon. I feel like you are very in tune with your primal self. I feel like you're very in tune with your instinctual process. I think you trust your instincts. I can sense here that you have a very rich inner world that shapes and forms an understanding of what's going on around you without having to rationalize it. You're okay at looking at things in a symbolic sense or feeling a feeling in a way that kind of gives you an intuitive hunch. I think that's why this has been very difficult for you. I think that you're trying to kind of really clamp down on that in a way where you don't want that to be something that undermines the relationship, because I feel like this person has been very strong in their response in a way that has been very overwhelming and confronting, and it's really called you out in a way that sort of says, look, prove it, basically. And because you can't do that, it kind of leaves you to feeling, oh, maybe I've got it wrong within me. Maybe I can't trust myself. So it's less about trusting this person, and it's actually more about the question of trusting yourself. And it's almost as though now you're sort of thinking, well, I just kind of need to be really sensible about this. You're kind of pushing that process that is really, it's been very reliable for you in the past. And now I kind of feel like this person is kind of using this against you in a way where they're getting what it is that they really want. I don't feel like this person wants to be transparent. Yeah. And where is it all going to go in terms of the next steps? I feel over here with the World and the Two of Cups. I have to say, I feel like this person will cover things up. They'll attempt to maintain a positive relationship with you in a way that maximizes on the fact that you don't have anything to prove what's going on. I think they'll attempt to share with you in a way that communicates really clearly, is very considerate of things that are going on between the two of you in a way where, on a surface level, they seem to be doing all of the right things. Sharing is caring. I kind of feel this person, on one level, is actually being really nice. Yeah, making you feel that anything is possible in terms of where this is all going with your relationship with them. I feel like they're much easier to get along with. I kind of feel at the same time, there's something else going on here in terms of the development of this person's timeline. It's as though somebody is kind of out on the scene with them in a way where it's become very visible, but at the same time, it's maybe classified as a friendship. It could be a work colleague, somebody that this person knows. I just feel like there is a kind of a relationship that is developed that is portrayed as being something that is innocent, but it's become very public for me. I feel when you look outwardly onto these two people, I feel that things could be interpreted in a way where it does seem like there's nothing going on. But I feel like this person is spending a lot of time with this person in a way where they kind of want to be with them. Maybe they're spending a lot of time with them in a way that kind of is just, begins to become a little bit questionable for me. they're very public, but at the same time, there is distance. For me, I just feel this is not a great situation, and I feel like you'll respond down here with the Emperor and the Three of Swords. I feel your heartache reignites, all of the pain from the past that you were feeling back over here with the Moon, and the Eight of Cups is reignited, and it's driven by the Emperor. I just kind of feel like you're back in the room with these old feelings that flood back in, stronger than ever. I feel like there's a lot of anger. You're seeing what's going on, and you just sense straight away that this isn't right. You know that this is not just a friend. You know that there's more to it. And there's a confidence here, though, where you were doubting yourself before, now you've put the pieces together in a way where you're responding in a very, kind of a lot of warrior energy going on here, in a way where maybe you're going to confront this person. I think you can see what's going on in a way where your posture changes. And I feel like you'll actually confront this person. I feel like you confront them about what it is that is going on. Because you'll refuse to be walked over in a way where you'll stand up for yourself. I feel like you'll get to the point where you think it's the end of the road in terms of this relationship, but you won't go down without a fight. I kind of feel like you're going to be all over them, showing them what for, making up for lost time in terms of fighting the fight maybe that you didn't fight in the past here. Yeah, there's a very I guess here with the Emperor, there's full clarity as to what's going on. Like it's sort of standing up for yourself. It's understanding that this pain that you're going through, the pain that you've been through, the pain that you will continue to go through as a consequence of what this person is doing. You need to you need to get even for this. Yeah. I think you'll also be really angry with yourself that you had it all in there, right from the beginning, that you were right all along. I have to say to you, my sense of it here also was that this person is seeing another person, and I feel like it's the person that they're seeing now, and perhaps that they've been seeing in the past. And I feel like this is actually the person that this person really wants to be with. Yeah. And I felt that if it went on that trajectory in terms of the timeline, that this person that you're seeing would actually leave you for this other person. I'm going to have to be straight with you here. I kind of feel that your instincts have been onto it from day one. I think you have to be very careful about how much further you invest yourself into this person, because it'll get to a point where if you don't walk away now, you'll kick yourself in the future. I just really feel what is lacking based on your past experience of confronting this person is trust within yourself, your inner knowledge, to know who you are as a person, and to know that you don't need to have facts to reinforce something that's not right for you, because the feeling is already there. Don't allow this person to manipulate you. Don't let this person leave you to feel that by having a reasonable conversation with them as to what is it you're feeling, that somehow that's an opportunity for them to make you feel even worse. Because at the end of the day, I think that's where the red flags start for me. Is that this person knows what they're doing. They know how to play you. They know how to make you feel. And they're basically throwing you off of the scent. Look, I hope this reading has made some sense, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe. Tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Thanks very much, and take care.